Thank you for joining me today. Today, I want to talk about connect, disconnect, and repair. Any relationship has its good times. If there aren't the good times, the highs, the magic, the connection, the feeling good about each other. Without that feeling, there isn't much of a relationship. There has to be something that connects the two people, that they have something in common, that they have something that they get energy from each other. That kind of builds the relationship. Also in relationships, there is always going to be something that comes along at some point to create some kind of a disconnect. They may have a disagreement. One person may decide something that rubs the other person up the wrong way. One person may say something that, the other person doesn't feel good about this. And there is always a certain level. It may be sometimes very, very subtle. It may be sometimes blatant. But there is always going to be, over the course of time, there's going to be something that causes friction in the relationship, and that is disconnect. Now, in a good relationship, the couple will deal with that. They will face that disconnection, and they will find a way to repair that disconnection, to get back to feeling that connection, so that they can carry on in the relationship, feeling that magic, feeling that specialness, feeling that togetherness. Now, some people, some couples, some individuals are simply not able to do repair. What does repair look like? What does a person need to be able to do in order to go through this repair, to reconnect? When it comes to an intimate relationship, the bottom line is it takes each side to not to blame the other person, not to look for the fault of the other person and to shame the other person, put down the other person. Rather, it needs me to look at myself. Where did I go wrong? What could I have done differently? How could I have, what did I say that upset you? And how can I now try to repair that? What did I do that upset you? Or we're going through this phase where, we have to make a decision and we simply cannot. You think like that and I think like this. Let me understand your side of the story. Let me help you to see that I'm not just putting my foot down and making a decision that this is how we're doing it, but I'm trying to cross that bridge. In my last video, I talked about how two islands with a bridge, we try to connect. Sometimes one side goes over to the other, sometimes the other side comes all the way over. When when there's disconnect, it means the two islands are completely separate, and we somehow need to make that connection again by crossing the bridge, either by meeting each other halfway, or it may mean that I come all the way and this one time I go all in according to what you're thinking, the way that you see things, because I see that that is better for the relationship. Obviously, as I spoke last time, if one person is constantly going over to the other side, if there is constant blame from the other side, constant shaming from the other side, one side is constantly putting the other side down, and that person is always right, well, as they say, there's a famous saying, you can either be right or you can be married. When one person is constantly pushing things their way and constantly putting their foot down that this is the way things have to be, it's not really a relationship. Repair is when I come to the table and I say, this is where I could have done better. This is where I want to come towards you. This is where I messed up. This is where, looking at me, I'm not looking at the other person and even thinking about what they could have done and what they should have done and shaming them and blaming them. I'm 100% looking at myself and saying, what is my part in this conflict, this disagreement, this part of this disconnect, and what can I do to try to repair that? Now, if the other person just isn't willing to be a partner in this process, then that's a very big problem, and the person just needs to do whatever they can to help their partner to get through this, and to do it in a way that is the best way possible. It can be very, very difficult at times, but without this reconnection, without going through this repair process, then you're not going to get back to a full connection. When there is a good repair, when you do the repair, both partners in the relationship are working on the repair, which is the hardest part of this 3-part process of connect, disconnect, and repair. Then when you are able to do that repair, then when you reconnect, you're actually on a higher level. It's not just that the relationship is now back to that magic and back to that feeling good, but you're actually on a higher level because you've actually been through that reconnection process of doing the repair well, and now you're really enjoying a higher level of connection. So again, when we go through this process of connect, disconnect, repair, connect, disconnect, repair, when we're constantly going through that, and each time we're doing the repair in a productive way, then we have the potential for an absolutely fantastic relationship. People that have issues with that, people that really struggle with the repair in the relationship, maybe need to go and see a couples therapist together with your partner to work on this, to understand this, to see how you can show up better in the relationship. And hopefully your partner will be looking at themselves, asking themselves, how can I show up better in the relationship for my partner? And the two of you together doing this, you're going to have an awesome relationship. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for joining me today. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again.